Alright, weird dream, okay, check it. Me, um, and some of my family in a park, just chilling. I think there's barbecue going on. It's aunties, uncles, pretty much everyone. And I'm playing football with one of my little cousins on the grass. So we're kicking the ball to each other, and I, he kicks the ball too far and it goes onto some concrete. So I'm like, I'll get it, I'll get it. I start to run to get the ball. He wants to get it before me, so he's running next to me, and then he tries to overtake me. We get onto the concrete where the ball is, and he slips and falls and hurts his back. So he starts to scream. So I'm like, oh shit! I run up to him. I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? And he's like wiggling about. He's like, oh, I hurt my back. I hurt my back. I really hurt my back. So I'm like, oh man, fuck, fuck, fuck. What are we gonna do? So I'm like, where is it hurt? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Where are you in pain? And he's like, my spine, man, my spine. I messed up my spine. But he's moving in it, so I'm like, listen, you're moving about, yeah, so you're not paralyzed. Don't worry too much, yeah. We'll get you some help. We're gonna get you to hospital. Don't worry, don't worry. So I think I'll take my jacket off and put it under his head to try and make him comfortable. And I'm like, stay there, man, stay there. We got you. We're gonna get you to the hospital. Don't worry about it. Next thing you know, my dream fast forwards and we're sitting in my car and I'm about to drive him to the hospital. He's in the passenger side, still in pain, still screaming. So I'm parked up the side of the road, yeah, and I'm checking the car. I'm like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this, got my tom tom. All right, let's go. Before I get to pull off, um, some bitch of a woman comes to the car, fixes the taxi, and she opens the door and she's like, "Oh, you're not a taxi," and she slams the passenger door side shut where my cousin is. It hurts my cousin obviously because it vibrates, yeah, and he's like, "Oh, my back, kill my back." So I'm like, "What the?" So I get out of the car, I'm screaming at this woman. I'm like, "Why are you slamming the taxi door for? My cousin's hurt his spine, blah blah blah." She's like, "Shut up, yeah." So I'm like, "What?" I can't hit her, yeah. So I spit in her face. I get a really good shot as well. I spit in her face one time. It's nice, man. It's juicy. So I go back, like, I'm like, fuck, well, let's just go hospital, man. Come, come. Get into my side. She's like, what? She opens the passenger side door again, slams it shut even harder. I'm thinking, fuck, what a bitch. Makes my cousin scream here. So I get in the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's hurt his spine. Why are you fucking slamming the door like that? I spit in her face again. Go back to get in the car. She runs straight back to the door, opens it up, slams it even harder. So I'm like, oh my fucking god. I get out of the car, I spit in her face, and I'm screaming at her. The taxi driver, the taxi she's gonna get in next, yeah, he starts to get involved. He's like, "Oh, listen, mate, don't be spitting in a girl's face." I'm like, "Shut your mouth! Like, do you know what's going on here? You better keep quiet." He's like, "I don't talk to me like that. Don't be spitting in girls' faces." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Listen, man, be quiet. I don't need to hear from you. This is between me and her." So he's getting ready to get out the car, yeah. So I'll run back to my car to get something. I don't know what it is. I'm thinking maybe I got a weapon in there. Like I'm hoping. So I'm looking around my car. He gets out, and then I get something, and he gets something, and then we meet in the middle in between two cars, and we're just looking at each other. And he's like, "Listen, mate, I got an office upstairs. Why don't we go up there and try to sort this out?" Doesn't seem like the right reaction from me, yeah, but I'm like, "All right, let's do it, innit?" So I put my weapon in the car, and then I just leave my cousin screaming in the car with his bad back. Yeah, me, the cab driver, and this chick go upstairs to try and talk this out. Before we go upstairs, he says to me, "But mate, listen, I'm gonna need your internet router. Go and get it from the car." Now, awake, this seems like a weird request for an argument, discussion. But in my dream, I'm like, yeah, that sounds reasonable, innit? I'll go and get my internet router real quick from the car. So I run to the car, I get my internet BT router, and I'm bringing it with me up to the office, which is just so random. Like, doesn't make any sense. But I get up to the office, yeah, and there's something weird about the office. I can tell there's something weird going on. Um, I lean on one of the walls in the middle of the office, and the brick starts to crumble away in my hands, and my hands almost going through the wall. So I'm thinking, wow, this is very weird, man. Inside the office, there's a boss and there's like little workers. Cab driver obviously works here, and the cab driver's like, "Listen, man, we was just having an argument outside. Um, let's let's we're up here to sort it out." The boss like the boss goes, "Let's go have drinks in the pub." And everyone in the office is like, "Yay!" I'm like, "Yay! Drinks in the pub. Let's go, guys! Like, I really want to sort this out." Which is so weird. But we all get together and then we leave to go drink in a pub. Then like the camera spans back into the office room, yeah, and there's like a guy with a hunchback who's like walks in over, like scary little Hunchback of Notre Dame, dude. And he picks up my internet router, and there's some moody music, these scary little music in the background. And the guy's like, "We got ourselves number 11." And he walks into his office and he puts my internet router down, and there's just like a line of BT internet routers. And I come to the conclusion that this whole thing has been one big scam to steal my internet router. The fight, going upstairs, going to the pub, it was all a scam. It was all one massive fucking scam to steal my router. And then that was it. I woke up. I don't know what happened next. I thought that was pretty fucking nuts, man.